take, like, fuck them. And then the last one. I don't think they're still on sale. If they're still on sale, I'm gonna go pick up some more. But I ain't got no money, so I'm like, maybe I should just start for the week. Okay, following that train of thought leads to goal setting, right? We're always focusing on a different goal in each part of the journey. Let's make it to high school, now let's make it to graduation, a great job, a suitable partner, a solid retirement fund, and so on and so forth. For each stage, different problems, obstacles, and sometimes even enemies attack us. So God didn't tell you guys not to have goals, right? So if you look at like Lucifer's story, right? His goal was to overtake God's throne. Obviously not a goal he should have. And we see how that turned out. But if you guys have like proper goals, God's with you all the way. I just don't like these types of goal setting, right? It's like people are like, okay, I finished school and I gotta get a job and I gotta get married. I always hated that too, but I'm like, it's here. Because not everybody's supposed to experience the same thing. Right? And then they feel bad for it. Like some women, like they can't have kids and they're like, oh, I can't have kids, like something's wrong with me. Then they feel bad, right? But it's like, that's not your fault. God's doing that. Or like something's, there's a reason for it, right? Whether you fucked up and did some shit and you don't deserve kids, or like it's a genetic thing that like maybe you're suffering for someone else's decisions like me all the time, or like God just said like a kid might derail where your life is going, right? You kind of have, that's why they tell you just accept it. You just have to go with it. You can't be like, I really really want this, you like, right? And unless it's, if it's not good for you, it's not gonna happen. Right? Like Lucifer taking over God's throne, that's not good for him. I don't know, if you guys have any other comparisons, let me know. I know that's not like a good comparison, but like somebody help me out here. My brain can only process so much. Okay, last one is making progress, right? Going along the goals thing. So I'm on page 14 now. Planting seeds. Okay, this talks about being planted, right? How we're made of dirt and whatever. Okay, so if we're talking about goal setting, right? Let's say, let's use me as an example, right? I said, I want to plant a tomato plant, right? Say I have the seed, I put it in the dirt, and I don't see anything pop up out of the dirt for like a week. Does that mean it's not growing? Right? Just because I can't see it doesn't mean progress isn't happening beneath the soil, right? It's the same thing going with the goal thing. It's like, okay, God's working on it, but people are so impatient and doing all kinds of bullshit that it's like, what in the fuck? Right? For me, if you use me as an example again, I didn't plan on leaving summer of last year. I'm like, okay, if I have to, he told me ahead of time, he's like, you're gonna have to leave here, right? So I'm like, okay, if I have to leave, because I didn't know the reason why. He didn't tell me the reason. I didn't know that shit was gonna happen in the spring, right? or I'm like everybody's looking for a suitor for me. I'm like, fuck no, right? Like I have no decision in the matter, right? So he told me I have to up and leave at some point, right? So I'm like, okay, at least he graciously gave me time to prepare, right? Because I had time to gather, like because I can't, some of the things I own I can't get here, right? Like certain soaps and things, like for example the face mask that I can't get in this small town. Those things I had to prepare ahead of time before I came here, right? Um, I tell you guys this because I told you last time I saw my friend. She's a shitty friend. I kind of want to cut her off. Because I told the one I told you I had to gatekeep the face mask from when I went with her to the mall that day. Because I was looking for things before I had to leave, right? So in my head, I'm like, okay. I'm like, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna leave in November, right? Because I'd have more than enough. I have money I need plus a little bit left over, and I'd be okay, right? But he had me leave in the summer because that's when my landlord was praying. Because you guys aren't gonna believe this, but landlord he said when he evicted the last two guys, he said he was praying for two women, right? And I told you when I saw him, I was like energetically, I felt it was this one, right? And he told me all that stuff afterwards, but I'm like, things don't happen for no reason, right? I'm like, God had me come out here, the spirits led me here, flowers was here. He's like, Lisa, you gotta trust me, right? And I'm like, this is the first time, like, I've known Flowers for like ever, right? Because he's been with me since high school. He's probably been there longer, but he couldn't talk to me till then. Because I didn't make a habit out of that, right? I'd only talk to the older brother when he'd be around, right? And the TV thing, I do a lot of weird things. I've lost my train of thought again. What the fuck? What was I just saying? Like, I just lost my train of thought. Ah. Oh yeah, I was saying I was leaving. Yeah, okay. Normally you're supposed to trust in God, right? But I didn't do that when I came out here. But he told me like I'm supposed to leave here in the summer. When I got here, my landlord told me he's like I was praying for women to show up here, right? And I knew it was him instantaneously, right? Because anyone that doesn't believe in this shit isn't gonna understand how I did all of that and came here, right? So Shu answered his prayer and mine at the same time because I wanted to get out of that fucking house and he needed someone to rent and this room happened to be blue, right? Like how am I supposed to explain that other than God? Because he told me I had to leave in the summer and I'm like, fuck, I need a couple more paychecks or I'm fucked, right? Can you believe I haven't worked for a whole year? I'm in retirement phase. I was like, oh fuck. I told Shu, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna have him send me some money. I'm like, I need it now. Anyways, like he gave me some time to like prep to come out here because I fit everything in that bag. I told you guys I had 2 bags and basket on my back. Yeah, so in my head, if I went my way, I wanted to come out here till November, but then I wouldn't have had this place when I wouldn't have had access to this place. So he had me come out in the summer and come out here. That's how I know it's God given, because I'm like, things happen so easily, and then I know when he leaves me stuff because everything's free. Because then all the stuff I have there that I need to talk about with you guys, and like all that free shit kept coming, and I'm like, I took every opportunity that came up. Because normally when something comes up, people are just like, nah, right? Like I'll do this later, do that, but I'm like, stuff like this has never happened, so I'm like, I'm gonna take it when it comes. And I pretty much got everything done. So I feel like when we're talking about this progress thing here, right, where you can't see anything happening beneath the soil and the plant comes up, it's the same shit here with me. I'm like, okay, now I got an understanding of driving. I got to work in a law office for a bit. Um, I got my passport. All those types of things that helped me to grow, like I've done out here, right? I got to go take violin lessons that my parents never let me do. My dad doesn't even know that I own basket. Uh, if I bring up any of that, he's gonna beat me. He'll be like, "What the fuck?" Right? Like that always pissed me off. I'm like, everything I wanted to do, they're like, "Oh, it's stupid to do," or it's like, "It's a waste of money." And I'm like, okay, if you want to get in the way, get in the way. But God never told me not to do something that I felt I wanted to do, right? Ugh. I got mad though. I'm like, I told Shu, I'm like, how the hell could you call me stupid? I'm like, I get enough of that from my fucking Earth parents. I don't need to hear that from you too. Anyways, progress always seems really slow, but trust me, it's going too fast. If you guys are actively taking steps toward it, like say for example, if I'm writing an essay, if I write one sentence a day, eventually you'll have the essay, right? It's the same thing. It's like, okay, if you write one sentence today, one sentence a month from now, right? Progress obviously is going to be slower, but you're going to get there in the end. For me, every month I did something different, right? If you guys haven't been paying attention, March, April, I did, so January, February, I was at the law office. March, April, I did driving. April, May, or May, June, I did violin, right? And then all last month I had training for stuff. Last year, right? So everything just happened like that. Like I did all of my paperwork and stuff back in November, December last year, right? So I'm like everything, all the lengthy stuff, it takes time, right? So once you, this is why I'm happy I went to uni, because uni is for people who need to manage their time, right? Once you know how to manage your time, everything else comes easy, right? For me, I don't have the headache anymore of the people around me, so I can easily knock all these things out quick, right? I think the only thing I've done that's really selfish is probably when I take photos, right? But even then, I'm like, sometimes I take photos with you guys in mind or you guys' energy. I can feel, you know what I mean? Anyways, progress. Okay, I'm done the pink and the yellow section. I want to move on to the purple section, but I've been talking for 5 hours. So I think I'm gonna um take out the footage and then I'm gonna continue, okay? Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It might take half an hour just to get all that stuff out of my phone. But I told you guys it's gonna be a long video today. I'm gonna be talking nonstop. Okay, I'm done with this. I'll need this. I'm gonna be eating this because I'm still hungry. Let me finish stuffing my face. Need this. Okay. Give me a couple minutes.